Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Rad Dad Toolbox. Today we're going to be doing the PTW, Power Tool Workshop. Today we're going to be talking about the basics of a circular saw, both corded and cordless, how to use it, how to cut straight, and maybe what to look for when you buy one. So this is going to be a fun episode. And by the way, if you have not checked out my other videos, please take a few minutes to check them out. We do all kinds of fun stuff, everything from how to shave like a boss to how to fix your iPhone speakers in less than 5 minutes to how to double your money, what your dad should have taught you. So lots of fun stuff. Check out our other videos, and let's get back to it. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you haven't hit the like button, definitely pound the like button. So let's get started. Right, so let's start with the basics of a circular saw. Now this is right here an old, what they call a skill saw. It's kind of one of the original circular saws out there. It's 2 1/3 horsepower. Good little unit. It does a great job, and it is corded. Now the big trend obviously nowadays, and with a lot of the tools I have right now, they're battery powered, which makes it nice. You don't have to mess with cords, but this is a great place to start. I just looked this up on my local classifieds. You could look at Craigslist or somewhere like that, and you can get a saw like this used for maybe 15, 20 bucks, and it's a great place to start. It would do everything you need it to do, other than you always have to have, of course, a cord attached. So that's a little drawback, but you know, we built homes for years and years with saws just like this. Now, I'm going to be running what is called, if I can turn it here without cutting myself, probably can't, so I'll turn it upside down. This is a Diablo blade. Really like these blades. It's a framing blade. So it's a slightly aggressive, somewhere in between actually for a framing blade. And I got this at Home Depot. I want to say it's about 14, 15 bucks. I'm not sponsored by Home Depot, but this is a fantastic blade, and we're going to demonstrate it today. So this is a great place to start. You don't need anything fancy. You certainly can spend, you know, 60 to 80 bucks at Harbor Freight for a battery powered really nice saw. You can upgrade to Milwaukee, which is kind of the standard out there, Milwaukee or Bosch or DeWalt, something like that. You can get something like that for 120 to 200, all the way to 300 bucks. And I'll flash a few up here on the screen just so you can get some ideas. But you really don't need that as a place to start. And a good old all-American skill saw or similar brand, Craftsman, something like that, that you can get for 15, 20 bucks is going to do the job. So let's get started and do some of the basics now on how to cut, where to cut, how to cut straight, etc. So let's go right to that. Okay, and then just another note as we're getting hooked up here and ready to run this thing. I've tied just a little bit of a knot so that if this gets jerked at all, it will not unplug the cord. And this is always a good idea when you're working with power tools. You don't want them to come undone and lose power at an inopportune time. So a good way to keep it secure. Okay, today I'm going to be using a portable Sawhorse. These are actually really handy. They have roughly a 500-pound limit, and they actually fold. I don't know if you can see this down here. You can fold them up like that. They're completely so kind of handy dandy. These I know, I just saw them at Harbor Freight on special for about $8.97 each. Great investment if you're going to be using a skill saw, cutting plywood, 2x4s, whatever. This is a great place to mount them. And of course, I've got a second one here, and we'll use those today. Now, you can always use, you know, just the edge of a folding table, for example, and I'll show both ways of cutting. A little bit different dynamics with that, but these portable Sawhorses for $8.97 a piece at Harbor Freight are a great deal. So let's go ahead and start getting ready to cut here. Hey, you're gonna notice I look really styling like some sort of a movie star. Maybe not. Okay, so anyway, but I do have safety glasses on, and I used to think, you don't need safety glasses until you get some slivers in your eye and wood chips in your eye and sawdust, etc. So good idea to wear these and protect these babies because you only get one set. One of the things we're gonna be using today, you already saw my stylish Hollywood sunglasses there, just kidding. But we have a nice tape here, heavily used, a Stanley tape for measuring. I use a carpenter's pencil. This is one you actually have to sharpen like with a pocket knife or something like that, but I really like them. You can just use a regular pencil. You don't necessarily need that. And then I've got just a nice level here, and it goes to about 2 feet. Helps me make measurements. The other thing I like about it is it's got a squared end, so we can kind of square it to the piece we're cutting, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It also has a variety of levels for different angles, etc. And then it also has a nice 2-foot yardstick type of measurement on the top, which can help as well. These are maybe, oh, I don't know, $8, $10. You can spend, 15 to 50 for a really nice tape. So just to give you some reference, let's go ahead and get ready to cut here. Okay, when cutting, you always want to measure twice. Measure twice, cut once. So we're going to cut about 12 inches off this 26-inch piece of 3/4 inch plywood. Let's go ahead and I'll show you how I do that. First of all, I take the tape measure and I make a mark at the 12-inch, and I'll do that in a couple places, and then we're going to connect the dots. So we're going to do it here, and we're going to do it here, and then we take our level or square, because it's got a square end on it, which is really handy. We take our level and we make sure it's squared up to the end. I don't know if you can see that with my fingers there, but squared up to the end, and we just intersect those 3 marks that I just made. And it's really easy. In fact, I didn't have quite enough length there. It was a 2-foot and the plywood's 26 wide. So I just need to finish off the end there. And voila, we have a really nice straight line that we can see pretty good. And we're just gonna cut 12 inches off this 26-inch piece right now. Now, just before we cut here, to show you how to kind of cut it straight, not only do we have a nice straight line that we have run intersections on with measurements across the board, and then we've marked it with the edge on the edge of the plywood. This is the other thing you're going to do when you want to cut straight. If you notice the line and you notice the guide on the saw, you're going to put the guide on the saw just on that outside edge, and we're going to make a nice straight cut. At least that's the theory. Let's go ahead and cut this now. All right, we're going in. Make sure your cord is clearly out of the way. Make sure you've got the board right over the edge of the Sawhorse. Let's go do this thing. Remember, you don't have to have sawhorses. You can use the edge of a table. You can use the edge even of a pickup truck. Be a little careful here. Some other things I didn't go over on the saw that I want to go over right now is you can adjust the depth it cuts right here. It moves this plate up and down. You obviously want to have a good blade. Again, the Diablo is a good blade, but something that you have to kind of be careful of, and that's this guard. So the guard comes back as you touch the wood, and then of course it covers it back up once you're done cutting. So don't try to open the guard too early and be spinning the blade. You want to be safe. Make sure you don't cut your fingers or anything. These will take appendages off quicker than you can blink. So you want to be careful, but great tool, kind of a good basic power tool everybody needs. I'd recommend to start here again, 15, 20 bucks. Get yourself a used one if you'd like, save some money, and then you can upgrade to the cordless lithium battery powered Harbor Freight, Milwaukee Tools, DeWalt, Bosch, and you can go anywhere from $60 all the way up to $300 plus. But this skill saw will do 99% of whatever it is you need to do. And so it's a great tool. Really have used this a lot, and you will too if you start working around wood. Hopefully this has been helpful today. Hey guys, thanks again for joining me on Rad Dad Toolbox today on our special episode of PTW Power Tool Workshop. And hopefully you learned a little something about circular saws and maybe a direction that you can go. Again, be safe here. These can take appendages off without even thinking or in a blink of an eye. So be really careful. But if you'll measure twice and cut once, and remember some of the things I showed you about cutting straight and staying on the edge of the guide and just making a nice smooth cut, you can be a master of this in no time flat. And if you're already a master, hopefully got a few ideas as well. So thanks for joining us. If you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And if you've not pounded the like button, please do so. It helps the YouTube algorithm. And check out my other videos. If you comment below, I will try to respond to every single comment. Again, thanks for joining me on Rad Dad Toolbox. And until next time, take care.